What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe. Saints getting ready for some Thursday night football, boys. Saints, Rams tomorrow. In a lot of ways, this feels like, although if you've already made your mind up on this team, that is what it is. But this Rams game, if you are still, you're an optimist, you're bullish on this team. As we said, Jake made the very good point that draft picks are kind of out the window at this point. So you might as well win, make it fun, win the division, try to make the playoffs, try to maybe sneak a game. If you're going to get me, though, to buy in that it's possible, beating the Rams is that's going to be the way to do it. Like, if you lose this game, even if you finish 9-8 and you beat the Falcons, it'll be fun, and you beat the Bucs and you win the division. That's all great, but I'm still not going to give you any kind of juice going to the playoffs. But if you finish on a 3-game win streak with a win over a Rams team that's playing better football right now, and you finish 10-7, well, that is marked improvement. I don't expect that, but 10-7, that's objectively really good. Like, especially given Dennis Allen's career record. Yeah, and that's about where. So even despite all the bad, they have a chance to actually end up right where we maybe expect them to be before the season. Again, I don't think it's likely, but it's possible. And if they're going to do it, Derek Carr is going to be key. And we got to give credit to the legend DC4, baby. One of 3. Well, he needs like 100-something yards, I believe, unless he already hit this number. One of 3 quarterbacks in NFL history to have 3,000 passing yards each of their first 10 seasons, joining Russell Wilson and Peyton Manning. Give it up for our boy Derek Carr, dude. Saints Ring of Honor. Clap. There we go. Clap.
Well, the thing is, look, if he needs only 100 yards, he should get that by the next 3 games.
Yeah, like,
it's not
right?
guaranteed, but he should.
At least within, yes, at least by the Falcons game. Like, surely the Falcons game could push him across the finish line. Although, I mean, don't let Dennis Allen tell you, but you must not have been watching that 210 last Sunday, okay? Because that'll get it done. 218, excuse me. Obviously, I'm being what many would consider a jerk in being so tongue-in-cheek about this. It is a hell of an accomplishment, if I wanted to be sincere about it. With over 3,000 yards in each of your first 10 seasons. But I guess in the same vein, it's kind of indicative of a lot of the issue with Carr in general, which is the numbers don't always tell the whole story, maybe on what the quality of the quarterback play has been, which I fell for because I don't watch the AFC West generally. So I didn't watch Derek Carr play for years and years very closely. And when I did see a matchup with the Saints, he played really well, actually. So I was maybe guilty of falling into those numbers and maybe was sold a bit of a bill of goods.
I have spent a lot of time watching the AFC West in my life, and I did have my own thoughts on how this would play out for the Saints. But with all that being said, they still do have an opportunity. Now, the Rams are playing incredibly well. Their last 5 games, they're 4-1. Their only loss, 37-31 in overtime on the road against Baltimore.
Yeah.
So they have put themselves, they were looking at a top 5 draft pick, and now they're in the playoffs. That's how they've turned around their season. You're 2-3 in your last 5, and wins coming in your last 2 after a 3-game losing streak. But you're playing better. The Carolina game, that's just a bad football team, and it was ugly, but you found a way to win. There was things in the Giants game that were improvements. You did look better in the positions that you just had to look better in, offensive line and some of the protection things. Like maybe that helped Derek Carr get to his 218. Now you're going against a different team here with the LA Rams. Now the Giants have actually a Thibodeau and Lawrence. They've got a good front. And you did a nice job. You have to have that kind of performance again because even though Aaron Donald's not having his typical year, he's still Aaron Donald. And he can still affect the game. Certainly him against Cesar Ruiz.
It's Aaron Donald against Cesar Ruiz. What are we talking about? I don't care what Aaron Donald's done statistically. My man has got to be licking his chops watching this Saints film this year.
That's fair. It's completely fair. Cesar Ruiz is below the lowest graded starting guard. He's
What
68.
did it feel like when you were
Oh, you knew it.
a player? Yeah, like you knew you were about to feast on. And then what about like when you're an elite player and maybe you are having a down year? Do you think that guy's extra hungry to go like
It's a get right. It's a get right game.
Stack stats.
Yeah, it's a get right game.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're an elite player and you're not playing to that level, well, I can do a lot of things to get back to that level, but you know it. I can remember playing against the Colts on maybe like a Sunday night game. I forget which year it was, but I remember watching film and watching their linebackers, and they were undersized and they weren't fast. I'm like, this is going to bode well for us here. We are not going to have a difficult time running the football, and we didn't. We crushed the Colts that night in Indy, and you know it. Like when you're watching tape, you know that you've got advantages, and so the Rams are going to watch that tape outside of last week and think that they have major advantages, and so it's going to change their game plan. Because now they're going to think, you know what, we can win rushing 4. We can win our one-on-one battles. Now we can play more coverage. Now we can try to confuse Derek Carr. So it certainly changes the schematics of what this game is going to be, and it's going to be a tough game up front for the Saints. Yeah. They're going to have to do exactly what they did last week against, again, a really good Giants front. Now this game is not at home. It is at SoFi. So you have to play with the crowd noise as well on offense.
On the road.
Cross country.
Aaron Donald, cross country.
Thursday games.
Matt Stafford is not Bryce Young and Tommy DeVito, unfortunately, even if he's not Matt Stafford, that he has been for his whole career.
He's kind of been that guy lately.
Yeah. Yeah, and you run into a hot team.
Naku and Kupp and Williams, a running back's been a stud. One of the better running backs in the league when he's been healthy.
So it sounds like you think the Rams are going to win?
They have the advantages.
Yeah, I think so too.
And they have the advantages.
But prove me wrong, Dennis Allen.
Yes. Please.
I would love, like, at least if you're going to be smug with me in the post game, you're smug because it's a win, which makes it all a bit more palatable and go down a bit more smoothly.
He seems to be using like the local media and fans as the outside noise that they're talking about and that you hear some of the players talking about. Like he's trying to motivate them kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think the Saints have been rather tone deaf in some of their presentation this year. As you pointed out, the Loomis quote about selling the tickets because the economy was probably the most clear example of that.
Well, yeah, I mean, the team up, that's why people don't want to go to the games, right? Because Saints fans
they
are
need
poor,
money, yes,
even though they won't take free tickets. So it's one of those weird things. It's one of those economy things that the common folk like us don't understand.
Those tickets were $1, okay? Not free. Not like the Panthers tickets, which were 45 cents for Panthers-Falcons.
The Falcons went to that stadium and lost. I know the Saints are going through some bad times, but that's hilarious to me.
Yeah. I mean, yes, and, you know, misery loves company. You think you hate Pete Carmichael? At least you don't have Arthur Smith calling your plays.
I've seen a lot of Falcons fans on Twitter calling for interim head coach Ryan Nielsen this week. So,
yeah. Why wouldn't you?
And a lot of Saints fans would probably have thoughts on interim coaches as well.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.